Hello everybody and welcome back. So I'm here to share with you week 3's freebies and the challenge for this week. Again, these are all linked to my letters kit that has been released this month. These freebies you will be able to find in my Ko-fi shop. I will have it all linked down below. Just because some people have asked, just a reminder, these are freebies. So when you go to Ko-fi, it does ask you to put in an amount, but you just put in 0 and it is for free. So some people weren't sure because it was asking for a price, but you just pop in 0 and then you get those for free. My links to my Ko-fi shop will be down below. I will also have my Etsy shop as well if you wish to go and purchase the full kit letters. So these are the freebies that you can get this time. So I've done a couple of background pages. So again, those of you that are following and have seen the letters kit, it's based around a man and a woman writing to one another. So we've got a feminine page here, and then we've got a masculine page. And then the third page is to do with the challenge for this week, which is to kind of DIY a postcard. So I have 4 postcards here. These two kind of go along with the theme of the kit. I've used a lot of these florals and the leaves and things in the letters kit itself. We have a plain postcard here, and then we've got one that has some writing on. So you don't obviously have to use all of these, you might use some of these. But the idea is to kind of decorate your postcards. Obviously this is the side that you write on, but on the opposite side is normally the bit with the picture. So I have printed mine off, and I've actually printed these on 300 GSM, so they are nice and stiff as a postcard would be. They are, as you can see, still blank on the back, but I've got my 4 postcards ready to DIY. Now I do want to show you, I did have a little bit of a play around to put them in my journal. Now, where my 2 journals meet, I had these bits which I made in my last video, and I've used the postcards. So I did actually shrink them down a little bit, and then I've just stuck them kind of back to back to create a little pocket, and then I've got some bits and pieces in there. So I've got one for the woman section. So that's for Mary, and then this is Henry's side, and I've also got one for him as well. So I've done the same thing, I've stuck them back to back so it creates a pocket, and they've been tucked in there. So that's one way that you could possibly DIY your own postcard. I'm going to have a look at a few other ways today. I mean, you could simply just get some patterned paper and stick that to the back. You could collage the back if you like. I'm going to do a little bit of inking and stamping. So I have gathered a few different bits and pieces from my stash. So I've got these wooden blocks. Now, obviously with the time period, you wouldn't necessarily have had tall buildings like this, according to the kind of story that I've been going with my journal. However, we know that Mary is from the London area, so this kind of looks like a London-ish type scene. So I am going to, maybe for Henry's postcard, because he's obviously trying to remember London and Mary, I might on the back of his then have this stamped. Now the stamp is taller than the card, as you can see, so I might have to obviously just lift it up slightly just so we get the tops of those buildings. So I was thinking that stamp might be quite good for that. I've also got this floral corner stamp, which I thought I might put on Mary's one, as obviously it is a female's card, and I'm thinking I might do one corner, then flip it, and then do the other corner. But I'm going to create it as a silhouette, so these will be black, but then I'm going to sort of colour the background and kind of just see how that's going to look. So that's one idea as well. I was also thinking of trying to split the card. I've done it for a greeting card before. I think I saw the technique from Natasha Foote. I know it's not necessarily a new concept in card making, but the idea is you kind of block off areas and then you kind of stamp and then when you peel off all of your sticky notes, it kind of looks like a collage of different things, and everything's all framed. But I'll show you exactly what I mean for that in a moment. But for the stamps that I want to do for that, I want to make it quite officey. So I've got these ones. So I've got ones that have different type on. Sorry for the glare. I've got these ones which again have different funky patterns on. This side we've got like the measuring tapes. We've got a coupon check there. She looks quite nice actually, I quite like her. Then again we've got some numbers, work, and obviously he is at work. You are not here. Well, he's not, he's in Scotland in my story. And then we've got some gentlemen there. So yeah, I'm going to use all of those for that one. So I think I'm going to start with these ones first, and I think I'll start with Henry's, so I'm going to do that one. Okay, just because this is likely to get messy, I'm just going to bring in this mat because I can just wipe this clean, shuffle some things back. Okay, so we're going to do obviously the back of the card. So this I am going to stamp in black. So I want the background a different colour. So I've used lots of greens and I've used browns, but I think I might maybe use a red, or do I want to use, I might use red for her actually because I've got red berries there. So let's use red for her. What does that leave me with? I've got cracked pistachio, dusty concord. I think I might go with bundled sage actually. So I am just going to ink the back of this card. Okay, so I did go around the edge with a forest moss just to kind of darken it up a little bit. So now I'm going to ink up this. And this is the only thing I hate about wooden blocks, is obviously you can't see where it's going to stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it the other way. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to pop it down and then kind of rub over it and hope that it picks up enough of the ink. So I'm going to use my VersaFine. Now let's just check. Okay, so just stamping this on. Okay, so just making sure that my card is the right way up, and you want to obviously very carefully place this down. And I'm just feeling with my fingers where the stamp is and just trying to kind of press it down as best I can. Oh, not too bad. Okay, quite happy with that. Yeah, excellent. I'm really happy with that. That's turned out really, really cool. So I'm going to let that dry because the VersaFine does take a moment to dry, and then I think I might add some kind of sentiment or something at the top. But that is one done. Okay, so for the next one, I want to do obviously a similar technique, but this time I'm going to use barn door, since we have the red from the berries on this side. Right, okay, so I'm just going to give this a little bit of a wipe because obviously I don't want to get the back of my postcard all dirty. Right, okay, so now that we've got that, I'm going to do the same thing now with this one. So let's just check. Oops. Okay, so they're my flowers. I think I want them up in this corner. So again, I'm just going to do the same trick. Carefully, gently lay it down, give it a good press. And a little rub just where I can kind of feel where the stamp is on the other side. Okay, and then off it comes. Okay, so we've got that. Just debating whether I want that on the other side. Don't think I will actually. I think I'm going to keep it like that, and then again I might see if there's a sentiment or something that we can stick on there, but yeah, I'm happy with that, so I'm going to put that to the side, give this a clean. Okay, so for the last one I think I'm going to do it on the back of the handwritten one. So this one I'll just keep, and I might just put some pattern paper on there like I said at the beginning, but this one is where I'm going to kind of try and do the masking off trick. So let's see, I think I might use this one to begin with, but then all you do is kind of just angle off a section, maybe something like that. And then I'm going to use forest moss, I think, actually, just because it was a little bit darker. And then just along the edge of where that post-it note is, just going to come along. It doesn't have to be too dark. I'm just going to come along and give it a little bit of an ink along that edge. Okay, and we're just going to very lightly go into the middle a little bit. Again, just come over that edge. Right, so now that I've done that, let's get these out. Now I want the bit that says gentleman. So I'm going to very carefully just try and get that bit in. And don't mind obviously if it looks a little bit kind of sketchy. And then I'm just going to pop that on here. Hope that it fits in. Okay, so about there. Again, just pushing it down. Okay, so we get that. Okay, I'm just grabbing the next one. So I'm going to peel that off. You can already see it's looking rather cool. What have we got? We've got work. So I might have work maybe going along the top. So I'm just going to find that line. But you do want to make sure it's like properly on that inked bit. Push it down. Decide where it's going to go to. So maybe to there. Okay, and then I'm just going to ink up work. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to ink this, don't I? As I say, this is a technique that I've seen Natasha Foote do. She's a card maker. But it was such a fun technique. I thought, oh, that's brilliant for journals. Like I said, I'm not even sure what the name is of this technique, but it is a very good one. Okay, so let's get back to inking up this. So just work. Oh, let's try not to ruin that bit. Right, okay. Pushing it down. Okay, so we've got work, and it is supposed to look smudged. That is how it's supposed to look, so that's fine. Can now clean this up. Right, so I'm going to pull that off. And then let's find something for this area. So I'm going to mask off along here, and you just keep repeating the process really. I'm just going to bring this over a little bit. Another sticky note, which is going to go down here. Again, do some inking. Okay. So let's have a look. So we've already got a man there, so I don't want the lady as much as I think she'd look really cool. So maybe I'll have the pattern in there actually. Okay, so I'm going to ink that bit up. Okay, and that's going to go in this section here. Hey. Now you can absolutely use a stamping platform for all this. I'm not, just because I think it's just easier just to kind of pick it up, grab it. Oops. Right, okay, so that was the next piece. Let's peel those off. And you can kind of see how this is coming together now. We've got a teeny tiny little white gap there, so I'm just going to brush over that a little bit. Okay, so my next piece is going to be in that smaller gap. Oh, almost just started inking away without masking this bit. Okay, so what do we want in that small little gap? That's not going to fit. That might be quite cute actually. Oh, I'm doing the wrong one, aren't I? I don't want that ink. I want this ink. Oh, it's quite low down, isn't it? Okay, just to kind of make it up a little bit, I am going to just lightly stamp some numbers in the background. Just because it needs something else. That'll do. Okay, so now that's done. Quite happy with how this is looking. Right, I do really like this lady. So I'm wondering if we can fit her in somewhere. What's this one? That's those ones, isn't it? Well, we've already used that. I've already got a guy on there, so we won't use that one. That can go back in there. And then I've also got this typewriter one. So I'll try and fit her in first. And then we'll kind of see whereabouts the writing's going to go. So I'm just going to block that off again. And is she going to fit? Let's have a look. Might be able to get her down the side a little bit, so I'm just going to bring this over. I kind of want it at an angle, don't I? So I'm going to try and go from that corner at an angle down here, and then try and fit her in that space. So let's ink that up. Right. Right, so I've just wiped the desk, just making sure that everything is the right way up. Let's ink her up. Okay, and then we want to try as best we can to line her up. Let's start from the top, I think. That's where her head is. I'm just going to let it flop down and hope that she's in place. So again, just giving it a nice good push. Okay, peeling up. Awesome. That's really cool. Okay, excellent. Let's move that out the way and give this a clean. Right, so that just leaves us with the alphabet. And we shouldn't have actually too much card to fill in. It's only that teeny tiny little gap, but you can see how this is starting to look. It looks really, really awesome. So now it's just about covering up everything else. And this piece can go there. Right, inking the last bit then. Okay, I don't think this is going to particularly matter, so I'm just going to pop some ink down and actually just make sure that I don't get her face. I'm just going to pop that over there. Okay, and that's that. Right, okay, are you ready for the final reveal? There it is. I'm so happy with that. I'm just going to add a bit more ink around this edge, because obviously that's where we started. But yeah, I am so happy with that one. That's really, really cool. So we've got our postcard and that's the other side. Okay everybody, so those are my 3 cards. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think those buildings look absolutely awesome, and I've added my sentiments on there. Same with the red one, added my sentiments. I think they, again, looks really, really good, but I think this one probably has to be my favourite. I really love that technique of kind of dividing up the card. So this is the challenge for this week. As I said, it's just to kind of DIY your own postcard. You obviously don't have to do what I've done with inking and stamping. Like I said, you could collage the back, you could use decorative papers just to kind of put on the back. It's entirely up to you how you want to decorate yours. When you're posting on Instagram or in my Facebook group, if you use the hashtag NSPC letters, then at the end of the month, when I do a winners drawing for those that have been participating in the challenges, I'll be using that hashtag to find everybody and put their names into the drawing. Every time you post using that hashtag is an entry, so if you have been taking part in each of the challenges and you have posted multiple times, then your name will go into the drawing multiple times as well. Well, that's everything from me today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.